The crowd's roar was a physical force, a wave of pure hatred crashing over the dusty square. At the center of it all, on a crude wooden platform, stood Dr. Dilara Ahmed. A noose, thick and rough, was already around her neck. Her crime? Daring to teach girls how to read. To the warlord who ruled this patch of desert, that was a crime punishable by death. The executioner, a man whose face was a mask of grim duty, checked the knot one last time. Below, the crowd chanted for her end. Just as the executioner reached for the lever, a voice cut through the noise, sharp and clear as a rifle shot. "Stop!" Every head turned. Striding through the parting crowd was a man who seemed carved from the very rock of the surrounding mountains. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and moved with a quiet, lethal grace. This was Colonel Marcus Thorne, a man whose name was whispered with a mix of fear and respect in these valleys. He wasn't just a soldier, he was a leader of SEALs, a ghost who hunted other ghosts in the darkest corners of the world. He walked right up to the platform, his eyes locked on the warlord, a man named Gulbuddin, who sneered from his makeshift throne. "This is not your affair, American," Gulbuddin spat, his hand resting on the pistol at his hip. Thorne didn't even glance at the weapon. He kept walking until he was at the base of the gallows. His gaze finally shifted, meeting Dr. Ahmed's. Her eyes, wide with terror just moments before, now held a flicker of disbelief, of hope. Thorne gave a slight, almost imperceptible nod. It was a promise. He then turned his steely gaze back to the warlord. "She's a doctor, she's a teacher, she's under my protection." A ripple of shock went through the crowd. Gulbuddin's men tightened their grips on their rifles. The warlord himself stood up, his face contorted with rage. "You have no authority here. This is my law." Thorne simply unslung the rifle from his back, not aiming it, but holding it in a way that spoke volumes. His voice was low, but it carried to every corner of the square. "Your law is about to have a very bad day." He took another step forward, drew a combat knife from his vest, and with a single, fluid motion, sliced through the thick rope of the noose. The severed end fell harmlessly to the platform. The silence that followed was more deafening than the earlier roar. Dr. Ahmed stumbled back, her hands flying to her throat, gasping for air she hadn't realized she was holding. Thorne didn't hesitate. He swung himself onto the platform, standing between her and the stunned executioner. He extended a hand to her. "Come with me, doctor. It's time to go." For a moment, she was frozen, unable to process the sudden shift from certain death to a chance at life. Then her fingers wrapped around his, and he helped her down from the platform of her own execution. The crowd, a beast moments from tasting blood, was now just a collection of confused and intimidated men. Gulbuddin was screaming orders, but his voice was lost in the tension. Thorne's SEAL team, who had been moving silently into overwatch positions, now made their presence known. The glint of a scope here, the shadow of a rifle barrel there. They hadn't fired a shot, but their message was clear. This was over. Thorne led Dr. Ahmed through the paralyzed crowd which parted before them like the Red Sea. He didn't look back. He didn't need to. He had stared down a mob and a warlord without firing a single bullet. He had cut the rope not just with a knife, but with sheer, unyielding will. The story of Colonel Thorne and Dr. Ahmed became a local legend. It was a story about more than just a rescued life. It was about the moment when one person's courage became a shield for another. It was proof that even in the most lawless of places, the true law is written not by tyrants, but by the conviction of those brave enough to stand for what is right. Dr. Ahmed went on to establish a network of secret schools, her work now protected, her mission amplified. And Colonel Thorne. He and his team faded back into the shadows, their job done. But the echo of that single knife stroke, the act of cutting the rope, resonated for years to come, a symbol of hope in a place that had almost forgotten its meaning. That day, in a dusty square under a relentless sun, a SEAL colonel taught a valuable lesson. It wasn't about the power of a gun, but the power of conviction. It was about choosing to act when others would turn away. By cutting that rope, he severed a chain of fear and oppression, allowing the seeds of hope and education, planted by Dr. Ahmed, a chance to finally grow. It's a powerful reminder that one person's decisive action can change the course of history, one life at a time. Thank you so much for watching. Stories like these remind us of the incredible courage that exists in the world. If you were moved by this story, please hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who needs a reminder of what true bravery looks like. We'll see you in the next one.